Who is Ryan Wesley Routh, who has been apprehended for his alleged involvement in an attempted assassination of Donald Trump? This is what we know about who he is. Ryan Wesley Routh, age 58, has a multifaceted background that spans various states and occupations. He was born and raised in North Carolina, where he spent a significant portion of his life. According to property records, Routh's most recent address was in Hawaii, indicating that he relocated there in 2018. According to his LinkedIn profile, Ryan Wesley Routh owns a light housing construction company called Campbox in Hawaii. Routh's criminal history is extensive, dating back to the 1990s. His early offenses included writing bad checks, but his criminal activities escalated over time. In 2022, he was charged with possession of a weapon of mass destruction, specifically a fully automatic machine gun, following a standoff with police in North Carolina. This incident involved a vehicle chase and a barricade situation at a roofing company he was associated with. Despite these serious charges, there is no record of Routh serving time in state prison for these offenses. Court records indicate over 100 criminal counts filed against him in North Carolina. He registered as a, quote, unaffiliated voter in North Carolina in 2012, but participated in the Democratic primary in March. Routh appeared to say that he had voted for Trump in 2016, but that he had since withdrawn his support of the former president. In 2020, Routh tweeted to Trump, quote,
"While you were my choice in 2016, I and the world hoped that President Trump would be different and better than the candidate, but we all were greatly disappointed, and it seems you are getting worse and devolving. I will be glad when you're gone."
Routh's social media presence also reveals strong support for Ukraine, particularly in the context of the Russian invasion in 2022. On X, formerly Twitter, he expressed the willingness to fight and die for Ukraine, and even traveling overseas with the intention of joining the conflict. His public statements often contain violent rhetoric, including calls to, quote, burn the Kremlin to the ground. According to the French newspaper Le Monde, they found tweets where Routh called North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, quote, very clever and educated in 2020. Routh also proposed to Jong-un that he could become a liaison officer, quote, to put an end to the disagreements and sanctions against the communist country. On September 15th, Routh was identified as a suspect in an alleged assassination attempt on the former President Donald Trump at a golf course in West Palm Beach, Florida. He was reportedly armed with an AK-47 style rifle and was positioned 300 to 500 yards away from Trump when spotted by Secret Service agents. The agents fired shots towards Routh after noticing the rifle barrel through a chain-link fence, but it remains unclear if Routh fired any rounds. Following the incident, law enforcement discovered 2 backpacks containing ceramic tiles, a GoPro camera, and the rifle near the golf course. Routh was apprehended after a witness reported seeing him flee in a black Nissan, which was later stopped by deputies in Martin County, Florida. As more information is released, Brut will be covering the story. Stay tuned for these updates.